All right. It is Tuesday morning. It is 7:19 on the west coast of Washington. Well, really, the entire United States. And apparently, we're driving down off the hill into a big fog bank. You can see it looming out there. Hey, Larry. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Are you starting to warm up a little bit? Hey, the moose. Yeah, I was running a little late. We had a emergency call come in this morning, and I had to scramble a little bit to get somebody up there. So I'm sitting at a gas station making phone calls. But I think we're covered, and I don't think I'll be bothered the rest of the drive up. But we'll see. Wow, 70 degrees this weekend. At least that'll clear all the snow out. Yep, thick fog down here. Yeah, now it all becomes one big muddy, soupy mess across the entire middle part of the country. But at least it's warming up. So that's good news. Morning, Karen. Thanks for dropping in. Traffic isn't supposed to be too bad, so this should be a decent trip up. Although with a thick fog, we're not going to get much to look at. Hey, Ed. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Hi, Mark. Thanks for coming in, bud. Get all my link changes in order. Morning, dear. Fog is definitely thick this morning. Good morning, Mama O. All right, I gotta dive with a car pull away here when I get a chance. One, haha, two, three, and we got it. Yeah, it's definitely thick out here this morning. Thank God for the pay to play lane. Yeah, it's nice up on the hill. About halfway down Eli Hill, you drive into this crap. God, there's a guy behind me on a bike. Hey, Simon, thanks for coming in, buddy. Yeah, it's thick enough that we're getting water droplets on the windshield. See if I can clear those off, smear the windshield nice for you. Well, hopefully that means it's progressing, Larry. Yeah. Yeah, Mama. Oh, that's what Larry was just saying. He was talking about 70 by the weekend. Well, just make sure you get the best deal you can, Larry. Well, we haven't had snow, but we've had cold weather. Well, that's good. At least you're getting at least a chunk of change. These 2 weeks of winter. Yeah, yeah, that's the worst part is when it's that cold and you lose power. let's go with you like the guy. As long as he's giving you a fair price, that makes it that much better. Yeah, it all turns to mud and water when it all melts. That's the bad part. Whopping 26 degrees. Well, at least you're out of the deep freezer. Hey, thanks for coming in, buddy. Well, now we're slowed down a little bit. Still be sitting in that crap. Yeah, with the people upriver from where you guys are, it got a lot of snow. It could be a problem. To get that kind of snow melt. And somebody got busted. All right, guys, I got to return a text message. Hang on. All right, am I back or do I need to reset? Okay. Yeah. Uh, as I pulled out of the driveway, I got a voicemail from a restaurant up here, and their hood system's down. So I had to send him away from where he was going and up north to where to this restaurant. Hi, Dolly. Thanks for coming in, dear. Hey, Coffee. Thanks for coming in. Wow, I wondered why it was getting hot in here. I forgot to turn the heat back down from high due to Z frost. That's actually kind of cool that I was able to text him and didn't have to reset it. I have to show my appreciation to Katie and the Kitchen Sun for the title of today's show. Some of you have seen it if you've been to Katie's channel. Dinosaur toys are made with real dinosaurs, made from real dinosaurs. Now Jerry's texting, making a correction from his live last night. Yesterday he said he was going for an MRI. He's actually going for an EKG. All right, I got to scooch over a couple legs here. That's my question. There's a bike that's been up my butt the whole trip up here. Hi, Des. That kind of threw me. That extra E that Simi put up there. That's what my daughter goes by. Still no voice. Doesn't surprise me. It's probably going to be a week like that. Today is my son's birthday, and I tell him happy birthday here, but there's no way he's going to watch this. Well, you're having serious problems this morning, honey. I'm sorry. That's because you got screwed out of your massage on Saturday. She had one scheduled and they canceled it on her at the last minute. All right, there we go. Oh, are you out at home? Adelie. Hi, Arlene. Thanks for coming in. All right, I'll add a lead to the grocery list. What is that little symbol? I have never seen that before, and all of a sudden it starts popping up on everybody's comments. No, it's it looks like a funny little desk with an A. Maybe you guys aren't seeing it. Arlene has it. Stevie has it on her last comment. Des has it. That's kind of weird. Bern has it. Hey, Bern, thanks for coming in, buddy. Too weird. No, it's not the ad. It's after their name and after the crown if they've got one. Next when it comes up, I'll grab a screenshot and post it on my post page. But that's kind of what it looks like, a little desk with an A under it. Yeah, obviously it's just on my screen, but I don't know what it's. Great, now I got a new rabbit hole to go down. Have to go see what this is. Yeah, now nobody's got them anymore. When I want to capture it, I don't get to it. If I get stopping stoplights up here, I'll scroll back and grab it. There it is. Arlene's got it right there. It's at Arlene 1010, then the number three crown, then the symbol, and then the two laughing faces or smiling faces. See if I can capture it. Here on the post page, and we'll try and figure out what the hell it is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's a trap. It may be. I don't even know how to describe it, other than it looks like a little desk with an A under it. But I will post it, and then you can all see it. By the way, the trip back will be running late today. Um, I have to go in for a blood flow test at 11 o'clock this morning, which takes about an hour if they're on time. So it'll probably be closer to noontime when I head back south. Actually, the fog's not too bad. I mean, it looks thick, but the visibility is still half a mile or so. And I really appreciate that everybody says I do an awesome job at keeping up with the chat. But let me show you the trick. If I back off of this, you see where my phone holder is? It's right there in my field of vision. So I really don't have to look away from driving to read the chat. Most people that do live drives run them from either one hanging from their rearview mirror, which makes you have to look away in order to read the chat, which would make it damn near impossible, or it's a dash mounted one uh, that's somewhere in the middle of the car. This setup just happens to leave my field of vision on the road and able to just glance for half a second to the left and then read it. Needs one on his laptop, yeah. That might help. What cracks me up the most about Lance is that he's lived with that chair for so long he doesn't hear it squeak, and didn't realize it squeaked until everybody started commenting on it, and he was watching a section of one of his lives back and actually heard it and realized it was happening. It takes me a minute to read long ones like that, Des. I've got to look a couple of times to read them. But when they're just one sentence, it's really not hard at all. Hi, Lucy. Thanks for coming in. Let's get over a couple of lanes here and into the flow of traffic and off of the exit lanes, and we can settle back in. Well, that would make her realize she'd pushed too far, maybe, when she has to cook dinner. Um, I don't understand people that come in to a new job with a scorched earth attitude. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I get it. You want to change things so that they run smoother in your eyes, or follow the budget in your eyes, but it doesn't all have to happen in one day, first of all, because you're taking over a prior administration. It don't make no sense to me. However, yeah, that's a little ridiculous. Of course, the concierges were getting double wages when they did dishes, which didn't make any sense to me either. I can't wait for that implosion. So the dishwashers have to be more efficient. I don't know, figure out how long the dishwasher cycle is on the dishwasher, and then do the math on how many cycles it has to do in a day. And then you can figure out if they're screwing around too much or if it's just not possible. That may be the budget, but of course, that's just my frame of thought. It's really kind of ridiculous. However, well, I'm trying to make it over one more lane, but there doesn't seem to be a gap in the action. Not that it really matters for the next 2 miles. There we go. The fiber is definitely a little better up here on the hill. Yeah, the last boss didn't figure we needed snow. Or he probably didn't know it and never read it. Last boss reminds me of George McFly. Well, now. that's just not how we're going to do things. We don't need to look at it that way. Yeah, I have no idea how long he was putting up with those three idiots concierge. Concierge. I mean, when they first came to view with that, it would pardon me. And whose great idea was this? You're gone. That's simple. The rest of you want to join him and continue this argument? I don't know. At least none of them at work know who I am, so she can brag about it. Yeah, it helps if you have all the puzzle pieces. Considering it's yeah, you got to have all the information. Otherwise, it's design fail. But like I said, my guess is he didn't know that. I got a text from Jerry. They said I'm boring today. Heart rate was only 48. That's funny. Yeah, that is great. I should pause for a second, text him back, and tell him we're all happy and alive. I think he was fine. I think Eddie's was off the charts. All right, hang on a sec. I'm going to text him and I'll be right back. Okay, am I back or do I need to reset? I suspect. Am I back or do I need to reset? I suspect he'll be in here in a minute. Hi, Beverly. Thank you. Well, that's good news to know I can do that. Yeah, it's definitely possible. They both did a great job. I mean, and in reality, the true winners were both of them ending up with a cheesecake, and the true winners were everybody watching because it was that funny. The whole night was hysterical. Oh no! Hope you feel better soon, Beverly. Hi, Jan. Thanks for coming in. I suspect we're going to end up here early again. Excuse me. No audio. Okay? Let me reset it. Okay, are we back now? Is the audio better now? All right, we're back. Hi, Wolf. Good morning, Jan. If the audio was off when I said that before. Hey, yeah, the little laser back. Yeah, I'll post that when I get to the hospital, or if I get once I end the live, I'll post it. Yeah, no fog up here. The cloud ceiling is a little low, but not bad. The clouds that are up there are big and fluffy. Yeah, now Wolf has the age. The Jan, I didn't look. Go back and find Jan. Nope, just Oh, Des had it too. Yeah, that's so weird. I have no idea what that is. Just silly. Huh, that's what I'm working on this afternoon. Trying to get everything addressed and mailed out before Off Topic Squirrel this weekend. That way I can be done with this batch and get late on another batch. Yeah, it's come. We're coming into downtown Seattle, and we're right in the middle of rush hour. So this part of it's always bad this time of day. Luckily, I only have to deal with it once a day or once a week, once a day. I used to have to deal with it once a day. Once I get my foot healed up, then I'll be back to dealing with it once a day. Probably a lot like Houston traffic, except that there are more Subarus here. We kind of have the market cornered on Subarus for some reason. Subarus got very, very, very popular during the grunge era. And there's one right there with a gray car on the right. There's another one. Hey, Katie, did you look at the title? It was an homage to your son. I figured you'd get a kick out of it if you showed up. Well, yeah, of course it's true. It's just funny. All right, deal with the call. Thanks for coming in. Hi, Tiffany. All right, now I have you here. Are you feeling better, honey? I've been trying to get you to answer that question for a week. I hope so. You've been struggling with it for far too long. Oh, no. I apologize if I missed it last week. If you answered, no, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been. Yeah, no, I just missed it. I'm sorry. I was going to say if it happened during one of Sibby's lives, I'm slammed. One of these days we'll put a camera on the studio and let you guys see what I'm doing while she's doing her thing. Because I'm pushing buttons and typing lists and making the show work and barely able to pay attention to chat sometimes. And there is downtown Seattle. That's very possible. It doesn't happen often. Um, I showed everybody earlier, but if you look where my phone holder is, it's right in my field of vision, which allows me to not miss a lot on chat. But it happens. Well, hopefully you don't get it too bad on round two. Gary said, "Who's live?" All right, I'm gonna do this one more time, guys. All right, am I back? Okay, thank you, Karen. Thanks, the most. Now Karen has the little A thing with the table. I don't, yeah, God, this drives me nuts. You too, Jan. Thanks for coming in, honey. Have a great day. There he is. Is my audio gone again, guys? I'll reset it. All right, are we back? Hi, Gary. Hopefully you got audio now. So you're boring today, huh? Oh, I never left. It was just on Gary. Okay. Yeah, that little table A thing is driving me bananas. Now I gotta go figure out what it is. Hey, Eddie, thanks for coming in, bud. Well, that's good news, Gary. That's absolutely good news. You're boring today. Yeah, that's awesome news. By the way, hi, Susan. Idiot's gonna let me over. Yeah, there we go. And there we go. All right, we made it. That's so cool, Gary, that you're feeling normal now. It's been a long couple of months. Yeah, it does help when you take your meds. Helps when the doctors tell you to take your meds. And when they're correct in the way they're telling you to take your meds. I mean, that's what cost me the tib fib fracture. They were over medicating me. Yep, get you on the right ones, you feel pretty good. This hasn't been too bad a drive today, other than when the fog was bad down in the valley. Yeah, I'm close now. I got about another mile and a half to the hospital. And then, just as a reminder, I've said it a few times, but I'm going to be late on the trip back. I've got to go in for a blood flow test at 11, which takes about an hour or so. I should be closer to noon or a little thereafter when I start the trip back south. Yeah, EKGs go pretty quick. They're going to lay me out on a flat table and then wrap, seriously, 20 blood pressure cups around my arms and legs, and then pump them up in bizarre patterns in order to make blood flow in different directions at different times and check what the blood flow is. Hi, Tiffany and Brian. Get through this light and then down two more and turn right and up two lights on the hill and we're there. Hey, Tiger. Yeah, I'm almost there. Back to the land of no right turns on red lights. I know damn well that they found them all on sale and then ran around and put them all up. All right, guys. I got two more stoplights and then I got to hit the parking garage, so we're going to lose signal. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Um, I should be back around noontime to go back south, and we'll do all this over again. So thank you all for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.